from PC Budget Solutions here, and this is the case that I'm going to be using for my upcoming Ryzen build. It's the Phanteks P400 black and white edition with the tempered glass side panel. I'm going to do a quick unboxing and overview of just everything that's in it, what it can hold, and things like that. Phanteks with the N through Evolve series has become a very popular case. Real quick, we're going to take a quick look at some of the specs on here. We have up front, you can actually do up to 3 120mm fans or 2 140s. The top will only do 2 120s or 2 140s, and then the rear only supports a 120mm radiator. And then for liquid cooling, you can do a front up to 360mm rad, that's going to be triple 120s, or up to 280mm rad in the front, and the top should have up to 280mm rad support as well, with 120 in the rear. You should be able to hold something like a Hyper 212 Evo. It does support up to 160mm, so you should have no problems, as that's 159. Graphics card length up to 395mm. Standard power supply, things of that nature. So without further ado, I kind of already opened it from the wrong side, go figure. Get this bad boy out for you. And the favorite part is when you start getting electrocuted from all the foam during shipping. It actually came in a different box altogether. It was one of those boxes inside of a box situation here. So, taking a look at the packing material, it's going to be your hard foam. Nothing crazy. Obviously, like Linus, we prefer, soft foam. Already getting electrocuted there, but pretty thick. I mean, we probably got a solid, as I drop it, about 1.5 inch, 2 inch thick foam, but it's your standard hard foam. Nothing crazy. And like I said, I got the white and black edition here, and it actually comes with a LED strip already in, and it is RGB. And as you guys know from my earlier videos, I have an RGB kit with a bunch of fans from Corsair with a controller as well. So this will be more of a black and white build, but also have the capability of doing RGB. So this is what the sides look like. It's the first time I'm actually looking at this, so I'm pretty excited. The tempered glass window, I believe, I'll mess with that in a minute, but it should swing off. But looking at the front here, there's going to be no 5 1/4 inch base. You're going to have your ventilation up top and up and down the bottom here. And then your I/O is going to be 2 USB 3.0 ports, headphone, microphone jack, and it looks like this is just a power switch up here. Hey, it balances. And then you have 7 PCI express expansion slots in the back. So now we got to figure out how to get these off. This is going to be interesting without breaking it. That's the goal here. Okay. So it looks like these do screw off. So I'll slide around so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And you can see the pre-installed fan that comes with it here in the front. And then that we'll lay to the side and try not to break it later. That's going to be hard. I'll actually set this down on the ground to avoid it. But here we have the single 120 that comes in the front, and then the 120 that comes in the rear. This will, like I said, support 2 140s or 3 120s. You got your bottom bay. This is going to be where your power supply is going to be covered. And then up top, we actually have more of a, I'm not sure if we can get this with the camera here, but there's like some mesh and stuff like that. It's magnetized on the top here. I'll show you guys here. So it looks like magnetic dust filler. I like that. It's very easy to come on and off to clean. And it looks like the fan holes here are offset as well to help get some clearance here. But yeah, a lot of room to work with. You got the grommets here and here for all your power supply routing. You can also bring up your motherboard cables to the bottom right here. And then I like this when you can bring your CPU cable up through there as well. Then I believe in the back, which I'm going to need a screwdriver for, there is SSD mounts, I believe. So let's go take a look at those really quick. Gotta love those thumb screws. I swear that they're a bane in my existence most of the time. Okay, so that comes off with 2 thumb screws. Actually, take a quick look at those. They actually stay attached. That makes my life a heck of a lot easier. I lose these all the time. And then I do want to point out, I only spent about $70 on this case, and I'm really, really impressed so far. So, Phanteks is including already Velcro strips. Excuse me. You don't really see that too often. You'll see, you know, zip ties and things like that. But this is what I like. You got your SSD trays on the back here, so literally I don't have to worry about routing a lot of cables through. You got your 3.5-inch hard drive base right here. I'm not running any kind of mechanical drives. And this is going to be for the RGB lighting that they have all throughout. And that's actually just connected up to the top. Then you have your fans here, and then I think the fan running down through here as well. Obviously, they got to give you all the hardware mounting stuff. There's just going to be screws and stuff like that in there. But let's take a look. Let's see where they have the RGB lighting up here. I see kind of where it's kind of all hooked up here. So let's actually take these off, because again, this is the first time that I've actually messed with this case before. So, okay, so this is a SATA connector for the RGB lighting, and then, okay. Okay, if I remember correctly, it actually shoots up through on the bottom here, yeah. So this light right here is going to be RGB, so you can actually mess with that. And then down the bottom here, take a look at the power supply. I like this removable fan grill. Definitely nice to have right there. See if I can put that back on without breaking anything. And I'm successful, so that's a plus. But yeah, we're definitely really excited to get building in this. It looks to have a lot of room. I'm coming from a Corsair Air 540, so you know, I'm very spoiled with having to be able to hide everything in the rear. But you know, this is really going to be a really exciting build. So stay tuned, guys. We're gonna have the Ryzen build going together here, hopefully Thursday, when AMD gets me the chip. Maybe Friday, not 100% sure. I have it set for overnight. And I'm going to be doing benchmarks and a build log and a couple how-to videos as well. But until then, this is Steve from PC Budget Solutions signing off, and I'll catch you guys in the future.